The very name itself, Blazing Star, lets you know that this is going to be an awesome plant. And it is! The name does not let you down. So okay, for this particular blazing star, Liatris spicata, or the dense blazing star, if you grow it from seed and want to know what it's going to look like when it comes up for the very first time from seed, then this is a video for you. If you want to know what an already established dense blazing star looks like when it comes up in the spring, I have a video on that, which I will give you a link to in the video description. But okay, growing from seed. Liatris spicata seeds need 30 to 60 days of cold, moist conditions, and then they'll be ready to grow. So I do that outside over the winter, and that is why you're looking at that here. So I cut milk jugs in half. I put that netting over them so squirrely little squirrels keep their squirrely little paws out. And then over the course of winter, the Liatris spicata seeds will get that 30 to 60 days of cold, moist conditions. So while you're looking at that, I always like to make sure that we are talking about the same plant. So here are the details on Liatris spicata. So you can see that it is okay growing in a variety of conditions and soil types, which is really nice. You can get away with growing it living in a variety of places. So okay. Winter is over. Let's see what comes up first from these Liatris spicata seeds. And here we are. Mid-spring is when these are coming up. Mid-spring is early to mid-April for me. So I'm going to loop you on this video for just a moment. So in the first jug by the stick that is in there, you can see a little green guy coming up. That is your Liatris spicata. And then in that second jug that you'll look at again, up at the top, there's this big green thing, and that's not it. That's something else that I should have just taken out. But in the second jug on the right-hand side, you can see a few of these same little green guys. So if you're familiar with what seedlings look like when they first come up, you'll know that most plants look exactly like this. Those two little green things are not true leaves. They're called cotyledons. Like they're embryonic leaves. And although they are not true leaves, they will get photosynthesis going for our little dense blazing stars. So again, at this cotyledon stage, those two little round, looks like leaves that are coming up, dense blazing stars look like nearly any other plant. Now here we are, a little over 2 weeks later. So still mid-spring, but late April for me now. And so it's taken about 2.5 weeks to go from that nondescript cotyledon stage to this still nondescript cotyledon stage. So 2.5 weeks, not much has changed, except those cotyledons maybe look a little bigger, a little more present. Okay, so now we're in late spring, which for me is early May. This is about 3 or 3.5 weeks from that first video of them coming up. So 3 or 3.5 weeks from their first emergence. Some are clearly still just those two little round cotyledons, but many others here now are sending up their first true leaf. And now they're starting to look like a blazing star. So that first true leaf looks like what appears to be a blade of grass. Isn't that what it looks like? This is what it looks like to me. And so the single blade of grass, or what looks like a blade of grass, comes up between those two round cotyledons. And again, that is our dense blazing star's first true leaf. So for some of these, that single blade is about 1 inch tall at this point. And of course, as you can see, some are still yet just cotyledons. And some, that single blade is not 1 inch tall, but maybe it's 1/2 inch. And some, if you look closely, have a little nub of like what's going to be that single leaf blade. So this is still late spring for me, but we're in late May now. This is 7 weeks from when you first saw these guys emerging from the soil. So nearly 2 months from when they first broke ground, and the tallest leaf blades here might be 2 or 3 inches tall. Some of these Liatris spicata plants look like they have 2 blades coming up now. Can you see that? But of course, you'll notice that some only have a single blade. They're maybe only 1 inch tall. And some are still just cotyledons. Some are still just those little two round look-alike leaves that haven't even started making their first true leaf yet. And so I've taken the netting off at this point because I was about to plant them in the yard. My rule of thumb is to wait until seedlings are about maybe 2 inches tall before putting them out in the yard. And okay, just for kicks and giggles, this is the next day, which happens to be June 1st, so early June, early summer, and I did get them out in the ground. And they truly look like little blades of grass, don't they? They could so easily get mixed up and kind of lost amidst other plants, which you can tell. It really does pay to know what you're looking for, right? And are you giggling? I said it was for kicks and giggles. Sorry. Okay, that is that. Liatris spicata, dense blazing star, and what it looks like coming up from seed in the springtime. And again, if you want to know what an established Liatris spicata, the ones that make flowers and are coming up every year, established, if you want to know what that looks like coming up in the spring, that video link it's already waiting for you in the video description, so you can check that out. So okay, what are you still doing watching this video? Get out there and plant native.